Welcome to this exciting video where we explore the top 2 most valuable Washington quarter-dollar coins ever found. These coins are not just pieces of change. They are pieces of American history that have become rare treasures worth thousands of dollars to collectors around the world. Let's get started. First up, the Washington quarter-dollar from the year 1995 with the P mint mark. This coin, minted in Philadelphia, carries a rich legacy and continues to be a piece that attracts collectors and history lovers alike. Although this particular coin is in circulated condition, its story, design, and craftsmanship make it worth appreciating in every sense. The Washington quarter has been one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. history. Introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, it quickly became more than just a coin. It became a symbol of patriotism and American pride. The 1995 edition continued that proud tradition. When you first look at the obverse side of the 1995 quarter, you see the familiar profile of George Washington facing left. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, this image has graced the front of quarters for decades, embodying leadership, dignity, and national pride. Even in circulated condition, this portrait remains impressive, though the surface may show signs of wear from years of use. The details in Washington's hair, the edges of his collar, and the smoothness of his cheek might have softened over time, but that gentle wear gives the coin character, evidence that it has traveled through countless hands and stories since it was minted. Above Washington's head, the word Liberty arches across the top edge of the coin, a constant reminder of the values America was built upon. To the left, the national motto "In God We Trust" sits proudly, a statement that has appeared on U.S. coinage since the Civil War era. Below Washington's portrait, the year 1995 is stamped clearly, signifying the coin's place in the timeline of American currency. Just to the right of Washington's ponytail, you'll see the letter P, the mint mark of the Philadelphia Mint. This small letter holds great importance because it identifies where the coin was made. The Philadelphia Mint is the oldest U.S. mint facility, and its history stretches back to the earliest days of the nation. Turning the coin over, we see the majestic image of an eagle with wings spread wide, clutching arrows in its talons and resting above an olive branch. This design, also by John Flanagan, symbolizes both America's strength in defense and its desire for peace. It's a perfect balance of power and diplomacy captured in one timeless image. The words United States of America curve across the top of the reverse, while E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, appears just above the eagle's head, a reminder of the country's unity among diversity. Below the eagle, the denomination quarter dollar is inscribed, making clear its value as 25 cents. This classic design remained in use for decades until the launch of the state quarters program in 1999, which introduced new designs for each state. The 1995 Washington quarter was made primarily from a copper-nickel-clad composition, an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This gives the coin its distinctive silver-gray color and durability, even after years in circulation. In circulated condition, the coin's surface might show dulling, small nicks, and patches of discoloration. But rather than diminishing its charm, these marks tell a story of movement, from vending machines to pockets, from one generation to another. Holding this coin in your hand, you're holding a piece of the 1990s, a decade of change and progress in America. This quarter may have been used in payphones, parking meters, or even in the early days of arcade games, all of which adds to its nostalgic appeal. The 1995 Philadelphia minted quarter had a large mintage, meaning many were produced for general circulation. However, each individual coin holds a certain sentimental and historical value that goes beyond its face worth. Collectors often appreciate circulated quarters for their natural patina, the soft, aged color that forms from handling and exposure over time. This particular coin may have a muted luster, a bit of grime around the edges, or a darkened tone that adds to its authenticity. Examining the rim, you'll notice the reeded edge, a textured pattern of grooves that prevents counterfeiting and clipping. These fine ridges are an iconic feature of U.S. coins and have been used for centuries as a security measure. The weight of the 1995 quarter is around 5.67 grams, and it measures 24.26 millimeters in diameter, the same dimensions the U.S. Mint has maintained for decades to ensure consistency and reliability in coinage. Though common in everyday use, coins like this are often overlooked. Yet, when you study the design closely, you realize how much artistry and meaning went into creating something as ordinary as a quarter. Every curve, word, and texture on this coin tells part of America's story, a story of perseverance, craftsmanship, and unity. Even in circulated condition, the 1995 quarter captures that essence perfectly. Collectors today often keep circulated examples like this for sentimental or educational reasons. They're great for learning how coins wear over time, identifying mint marks, and understanding the evolution of U.S. designs. The presence of the P mint mark makes this coin even more historically interesting. Philadelphia-produced coins are known for their consistent quality and have been an integral part of the mint's production for over 2 centuries. Though its market value typically remains close to face value in circulated condition, the emotional and historical worth of this 1995 quarter can be much higher to collectors who appreciate its background. When viewed under light, you may notice subtle gleams on raised areas like Washington's forehead or the eagle's wings, contrasting with darker recessed sections, an effect that enhances the coin's aged beauty. This kind of natural toning and surface variation is something artificial polishing can never replicate. It's a result of decades of genuine use, giving the coin a sense of life and authenticity. Many coin enthusiasts also appreciate how this quarter represents the end of an era, just before the dramatic design changes of the 2000s. The 1995 edition was among the last of the traditional eagle reverses before the state quarters took over in 1999. That makes the 1995 quarter an interesting transitional piece in U.S. numismatic history. It bridges the classic design tradition with the modern age of commemorative coins. Even though millions were minted, each individual coin tells a slightly different story. Some may have traveled across the country, while others stayed local their entire lives, every mark on the surface reflecting its journey. And while it might not shine like a freshly struck proof coin, this circulated 1995 Washington quarter with the P mint mark still carries a quiet beauty, the beauty of time, history, and everyday life captured in metal. So next time you come across a 1995 quarter in your change, take a closer look. You might just be holding a small, unassuming treasure, a coin that has witnessed decades of history, carrying the legacy of George Washington and the enduring strength of the American spirit. Next up, the Washington quarter dollar from 1974 with the D mint mark. This coin, though often found in circulated condition, represents a significant part of U.S. numismatic history and continues to capture the attention of collectors around the world. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since its introduction in 1932. It was created to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth and has since become one of the most enduring designs in U.S. coinage history. The 1974 issue is a continuation of this proud tradition, reflecting both artistic craftsmanship and historical meaning. On the obverse, we see the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. His side profile faces left, exuding strength, dignity, and leadership. Even in circulated condition, this design remains instantly recognizable and admired for its timeless simplicity. Above Washington's head, the word Liberty stretches across the top edge of the coin, symbolizing the foundational American ideal that defines the nation. To the left of his neck, the phrase, "In God We Trust," is inscribed, a motto that has appeared on U.S. coins for generations, representing the faith and unity of the country. At the bottom, the year 1974 is struck clearly, marking this coin as a relic of an era defined by social change, political shifts, and economic evolution. It's a small but powerful artifact from a fascinating chapter in American history. Just beside Washington's ponytail, you'll notice the small letter D, signifying that this coin was minted at the Denver Mint. The D mint mark is a detail that many collectors look for because it helps identify the origin of the coin and adds an extra layer of historical context. Turning the coin over, the reverse design showcases the majestic bald eagle, America's national bird and a symbol of freedom and power. The eagle stands with wings spread proudly, clutching arrows in its talons, representing the nation's readiness to defend itself. Beneath the eagle is an olive branch, symbolizing peace and the hope for harmony. The inscription, United States of America, arches above the eagle, while the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, sits just below, reminding us of the unity that binds the nation together. At the bottom, the denomination, quarter dollar, is boldly displayed, affirming its 25-cent face value. The 1974 Washington quarter was struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition, an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This composition replaced the 90% silver alloy that had been used in earlier years, making the coin more durable for everyday use. In circulated condition, This coin may show light scratches, dulling, or minor discoloration, all natural signs of its long journey through commerce. These imperfections, however, tell a story of decades of transactions, travels, and countless hands that have held it. Examining the edges, you'll see the familiar reeded pattern that prevents counterfeiting and adds texture to the design. This fine detail is a signature characteristic of U.S. quarters and remains consistent across the decades. When observed closely, the portrait of Washington on a circulated coin often displays soft wear around the cheek and hairline, while the eagle's feathers on the reverse may appear slightly smoothed. Still, these features remain legible, retaining the coin's historical charm. The 1974 D quarter holds sentimental value as a pre-state quarter-era design. Before 1999, all Washington quarters shared this elegant eagle reverse, representing a sense of unity and continuity in American coinage. This particular year also represents the final stretch before major changes in U.S. coin design philosophy, as later decades brought in commemorative and state-themed quarters that replaced the traditional eagle. For collectors, circulated examples like this are often the perfect introduction to numismatics. They are affordable, accessible, and rich in history, making them excellent study pieces for understanding minting quality, wear patterns, and design evolution. The 1974 D quarter also serves as a reminder of Denver's important role in U.S. coin production. The Denver Mint has produced billions of coins over the decades, known for their precision and consistent quality. Holding this coin, one can imagine its journey, from the moment it left